Erba Pura, God of Fire. Two of the most successful, popular niche fragrances that take on that kind of fruity vibe over the last 5 years or longer in the case of Erba Pura. But I'm gonna give you 5 alternatives. If you already have these and want something a little bit different, or maybe you haven't even added these to your collection and you wanna try something and be a little different, these are 5 alternative fruity fragrances that are worth your time to check out. Find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose here at Osme Perfumery, doing a video, the first that I've ever done like this, having done now over 1,000 videos. And this is, I think, something that's going to be very useful to a lot of people, because I just mentioned at the introduction Erba Pura and God of Fire. These are these wildly popular. Erba Pura, I think technically, came first. It was with Suspiro, then, which is a branch of Serjoff. Now you have Erba Pura, it's been around. God of Fire came out in the last 3 years. Both of them, I mean, it's still like this. People come in, whenever I come in to visit Osme, I see it's one of the most, these two are the most asked for, very popular, very good, very long lasting, excellent fragrances. But sometimes you want something different, right? A little variation, something that maybe was inspired by these, that are not clones of these. And I want to be very, I guess, strong in saying that. I don't think any of these are clones. Doesn't mean they're not inspired by. And I'm wholeheartedly behind fragrances that are inspired by other fragrances, much like songs and food and art are inspired by other great artists, okay? But then they take it and they make it their own. And these are 6 that have done that in that kind of fruity category. I'm gonna go with, and actually I have 6. I said 5, but you're getting a bonus fragrance. And this is in no particular order. I'm gonna go first here with All Night Long from Ibiza. All Night Long. This plays on that pineapple vibe, which to me Erba Pura has. I don't think they officially listed pineapple, but pineapple, yeah, it's got like a pineapple, it's got like a lemon, mint. So it's green and fruity all at the same time. And that's what makes this one a little bit different than the typical, again, Erba Pura God of Fire vibe. The dry down is into this very good, clean musk. Very good fragrance. This is part of their Ibiza collection, which if you know Ramon Monegal, they are, this collection is kind of obviously around the island of Ibiza. Party, fun, typical summer citrus vibes, but this is still very wearable right now, especially this time of year. Let's go to the next fragrance. And I'm gonna go with, this is one of the newer fragrances, which is Muse. So Muse from Andrea Maack. Talked a little bit about this one in the last couple months. Whenever I come in here, it's funny, there's go-to fragrances that you have in your house, like, or what I would call a dumb reach that you just kind of grab when you just don't know what to wear and you know that you want to put on something that always works for you and is great. And this has become that fragrance. It's funny, whenever I come in here, a lot of times before I leave, I'll put on a few squirts of Muse. And this one is part of this whole mango genre that's been extremely popular in the last year or so. Mango, which by the way is a very popular fruit here in Miami. We just came through mango season where literally all the trees in people's yards are full of these ripe, juicy, red, orange, yellow mangoes that you can bite into that just drips down your mouth. That's what this feels like, biting into a juicy, red, ripe, sweet mango on a warm summer or fall day. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This thing is it's an eau de parfum, so it's a stronger concentration and it lasts all day. Great fragrance, and again, very fruity. Love it, love it, love it. Next, I'm gonna go with Montale's release from a few years ago. This is Herbal Aquatica. Herbal Aquatica. And this one's similar to the All Night Long, which came out around the same time a few years ago, has that fruity marine vibe. So these two kind of take, again, in a different direction. It's just, again, you feel like you're on the beach here in Miami or any other tropical place, and you've got maybe a mint mojito in your hand and you're walking and you're smelling. If you've ever been to the beach, I grew up here, I'm around it all the time here in Miami, but is there a certain smell of the salt air when the breeze is blowing and the smell of your skin when you get out of the water with that salt? This totally reminds me of that. It's a great fragrance. Montale, still one of the better fragrances I think out there, especially for the value. Such good price for 100 milliliters, under $200. So this, you know, the notes here are, again, it's kind of these herbal, mint, fruity notes, not as fruity as the others. So this one's a little bit less fruity. So again, has some inspiration from these others, but really goes in its own direction. Next, I'm gonna go with Miami Sunrise. Miami Sunrise, brand new. Again, I've done a few shorts on this already. From Precious Liquid, Richard Herpen, did Oud Wood for Tom Ford, a bunch of other huge commercial successes for big designer houses. Really a master perfumer, trained under one of the best ever. And so Miami Sunrise is his latest entree into the niche world under his own label. Already wild success. This thing, again, just came out in the last few weeks and people come in and goes right out the door. And this has the mango, so now we're going back to that mango like that Muse has, so it's taking advantage of that mango trend. He also adds some coconut in. So this really is, I mentioned the Miami being on the beach. This is Miami sitting at a nice restaurant or maybe even a picnic on the beach as the sun's going down. You see the sun, because when you're in Miami, the sun sets in the west. So you don't see it going down over the water. And let me correct, because this is the sunrise, not the sunset. I'm used to doing sunset videos. So sunrise, so what you have is, if you get to the shore in the morning, you see, because it rises in the east, coming up over the water, and literally just see for miles out into the Atlantic Ocean, all the way over to essentially Africa and Europe. But you see this beautiful, huge ball of fire coming up. Imagine sitting there, and that is your morning. If you can encapsulate that and how you feel and the energy that comes in of the day starting and the first sunlight rising, Miami Sunrise is it. It's going to continue, I think, to be very popular. That leads me to my next one, my fourth one, or actually fifth one. And this is Spiritual, and from Micallef. And this has, as its kind of fruity note, roseberries. So each one kind of takes on a little bit different berry, whether it's mango, whether it's a little bit of mint, whether it's pineapple. This one's got roseberries. What a sprayer, what a sprayer, wow. I forgot that Micallef has such great bottles, besides just the pure design. So this has that roseberry. It also has, let me look here, some of the other notes. Jasmine, cedar, bergamot, ambergris, benzoin, and vanilla. So this is a classic Oriental fragrance. I don't think any of these, by the way, I would consider gourmands. Some people mention them as gourmands, even, you know, going back to Erba Pura or God of Fire because of the fruity notes. I don't think that's what a gourmand is really classified. I know there's really no hard, fast rule, but I wouldn't say that. So anyways, Spiritual, again, from Micallef, roseberries, fruity, beautiful, kind of sensual dry down into that benzoin, which is that creamy, resinous, vanilla-like substance. So very sexy and very common notes that a lot of people like, that vanilla benzoin combination. And I'm gonna go with my last fragrance, which is the sixth one. And that would be, hold on, I'll get my camera here. Heroine. From Boadicea, I don't know. The Victorious. And this came out really before a lot of these. I think technically it came out maybe after Erba Pura, the original one from Suspiro, but around the same time, about 6-7 years ago, 2019, I believe. And so ahead of all these other ones. And this really, if you smell these other fragrances, there's a direct line back to Heroine. And the note that gives it that really fruity note is something called the dewberry, which I've never even really smelled any other fragrance that I'm aware of. But that dewberry has that fruity mango, pineapple, fresh, tropical type smell to it. I don't think dewberry is a tropical fruit, but again, I don't know that much about it, but I just know that that's the note that really sticks out here. If you look at the other notes that are listed on Fragrantica, it's like typical stuff: violet, orange, bergamot, jasmine, rose, which a lot of these others have. It's that dewberry. And Heroine, to me, is really kind of, along with Erba Pura, one of the forerunners and really the godfathers, or godmother, whatever you want to say, to all these other very popular fruity fragrances that are out in the market now. So if you really want an OG and want to go back to the beginning, Heroine is one to check out if you want to be kind of like one of the people who's in the know and knows where kind of this all started and became popular. So there you have it. Those are 6 of my absolute favorite fruity fragrances as alternatives to the wonderful, which I also really enjoy, God of Fire, Erba Pura. But you want to try something different, check out those. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you have some other ones that you recommend in this kind of vibe and what you've been wearing. Appreciate it. Love to hear you guys' comments, commentary, and thoughts. I'll be back soon with another video. And as always, don't be a wimp. Spray like a pimp. You know the rule. Don't be a wimp. Spray like a pimp.